Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Cindy Calusi. She is Director of Communications at New Point Community Church, and talking about 5 campuses. This does kind of blow me away because you have got to know what's going on at each of them. First of all, we haven't mentioned where they all are. So let's talk about where are your 5 campuses.
Okay. We have a campus in Dover on State Route 39 between Dover and Sugar Creek. We have a campus right here in Canton, right across your studios from 77 up on Broadmoor Circle, right with all the hotels. Mm-hmm. We have a Coshocton campus, which currently meets at the Coshocton Elementary School, and we're in the process of looking for a permanent location down there. We have a Millersburg campus, which is also on State Route 39. Mm-hmm. And then our Worcester campus is on Oak Hill Road in Worcester.
Incredible. You've added a couple since I was even aware that you were adding them. So what is happening at some of these other campuses?
Our Dover campus has just launched a Thursday night service. We're calling it the early weekend service.
That's interesting.
Yeah, well, we found out we felt we needed to add a third service. Because it goes back to what I said before. In order to reach people you've never reached, you have to do things you've never done. And we found out that 18% of residents in Tuscarawas County work the weekend. So it didn't matter whether it was Saturday or Sunday, it's still the weekend. And we chose not to do a Wednesday night service because we didn't want people to think it was like a Wednesday night prayer meeting or different from what they would get on a Sunday morning. So we just recently launched Thursday nights at 7. And we call it the meat and potatoes of a Sunday morning, but it's on Thursday. Our environments are open, our cafe is open, Point Park is open, live worship band.
What is Point Park?
Oh, I'm sorry. Point Park is our fun environment in between for our children between pre-K and 5th grade. And it's a place where the children can come and they have fun. It's themed out like a campground. There's a huge tree in the middle of Point Park that has slides. There are picnic tables. There's an this is crazy. There's an interactive river that runs through Point Park, and there are fish that swim. And there's a huge bridge you can walk over the river. But if you try to walk up to the fish, they will swim away. And it's all projection.
It's all video.
It's all video. It's all projection onto the floor. It's crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
But Point Park will be open on Thursday nights for our early weekend service.
Got to ask you before we continue on that.
Sure.
Is Point Park available for birthday parties?
Not right now.
Okay.
But we are open Monday through Thursday, 10 to 2, that moms can bring their kids out. They can have lunch there. They can let the kids play and run and go down the slides. And it's very
awesome.
Yeah. And it's on Sunday morning, it's even crazy because they have sound effects. And so there's birds chirping, there's mine shaft noises, and then at a quarter till when the doors to their classrooms open, they go through this big, camp holler. They have, horns, and somebody will jump up on the slide with like a megaphone, and they'll declare that, the doors are now open. And it's a big production for kids because kids like that stuff.
Oh my goodness! And it feels like you are stepping into camp.
Yes,
the whole
you
camp
do.
experience, but no mosquitoes.
Yeah, no, correct. No mosquitoes.
Great, no bugs, but
Right.
all the fun.
Right, exactly.
So cool. Well,
Exactly.
take us back to the Thursday night.
Okay,
then.
so Thursday night, 7 o'clock. So everything is open. Live worship band, campus pastor will be there. And so it's a way to, and it's the message from the Sunday that's coming up.
Wow, sneak preview.
Yeah, so it's a sneak preview. So if you're going to be gone for the weekend, if you have to work or your child's in travel ball or something, you still get the message. You're not missing the message. You don't have to, find it on the website, on the archive page and watch it. You can go there and you get the same experience on a Sunday morning, but it's Thursday night, early weekend service.
What a great idea. So you did say a third service. So what are the other two?
9 and 11 for our Dover campus, 9 and 11 on Sundays, 9 and 11 in Canton, and 9 and 11 at Millersburg, and then 10 a.m. for Coshocton and Worcester.
So interesting that you chose a Thursday and not the Saturday night prior.
Right. Well, Saturday night prior still would not have reached that 18% that work the weekend, whether it's, doctors, nurses, in the emergency field, police, whatever, or swing shifts, or it still wouldn't have reached those people. So we had to go outside of the norm.
Just thinking out of the box.
Yep, that's what we try to do.
Something else you're bringing now to the Dover campus is a Beth Moore webinar for everybody, right?
Simulcast, yes.
Okay.
Saturday, September 17th, Beth will actually be live in Chicago, Illinois, but it's a simulcast that she's putting out throughout the country, and we're thrilled to be a host location for the simulcast.
And we'll say that this simulcast is taking place at the Dover campus.
Correct.
All 5 campuses, and anyone within the sound of our voice is welcome to come.
Yes, welcome.
Tell us the details. How do we find out more and get tickets and attend?
You can find out more, and you can purchase tickets at newpoint.org/BethMoore. And that'll take you to our landing page, and you can purchase tickets there. Tickets are $25 per person, and it includes light breakfast foods, a catered lunch. So once you get to the Dover campus, you don't need to leave or go out for any reason, a catered lunch, and then afternoon snacks. Doors open at 8:30, but the simulcast kicks off at 10 because Beth is live in Chicago, so they're an hour behind us.
Right.
Yeah. So, but one of the things we've put together for women to do in that hour and a half time span is we have about 10 to 15 vendors that are going to come in, set up in the lobby, and so then the women can peruse through all the different tables. So we have Origami Owl, Tastes Really Simple, 31 Gifts, Pampered Chef, just to name a few that are going to be there.
Oh, my goodness. You've thought of everybody. Yes. So do a little shopping.
Yeah, do a little shopping. Right. And then Beth Moore she'll have, I think they call it a store in a box, at our bookstore, at New Point's bookstore. You can buy just about anything Beth Moore that day. They will have sent to us.
These aren't easy to pull together. Talk about the process you've gone through to have this happen.
There's a wonderful woman at the Dover campus, Elizabeth Lauber. She's in charge of, she's a point person for the simulcast, and she's the one really leading the charge. Com is doing the communications and the marketing of it. But Elizabeth has a whole host of a team that's pulling all this together and setting up the vendors and making sure everybody's staffed, and it's a group effort. It really is.
And nice that you're doing something special for the women of the church.
Sure, right.
Yeah, is that kind of becoming something that maybe we need to focus a little bit? Yeah,
we did a women's event at the Dover campus last year. We brought a comedian in, and we had the house packed out. It was a fun evening. Of course, we had chocolate, all kinds of chocolate. So that was fun. And then
Say no more.
Yeah, I know. So we realized that we need to head in that direction, and so the simulcast is a first step towards that.
And a lot of folks out there, how did you single in on Beth Moore to be the person that you would want to? That's who she decided.
That's who we decided. Yeah,
she's meant so much to so many people. Can you talk about maybe for yourself your favorite Beth Moore Bible study?
Well, I'm new to Beth Moore. I know that probably shocks a lot of people because she's been around for like 20-some years, but I myself am new to Beth. And I was just recently watching, she gave a study on Hagar and Abraham and Sarah. And I have read that particular passage forever, many, many times. And it was just amazing how God uses Beth and speaks through her. And she took maybe 7 to 10 scriptures and just brought them to life and explained the culture and explained what things meant and how God, he's all-knowing and he already knows the answers, but he always starts out with a question because he wants to hear what you have to say and then leads you from there. And it was just fascinating to hear that story through her.
Yeah, different. It was different in a different way for you. In what way? What new insight did you get from?
Well, I think the new insight was the one time when God asked Hagar, "Where have you come from and where are you going?"
Yeah,
and it's like, well, God, you already know. But Beth had 2 boards she put up on easels that had those questions: where have I come from and where am I going? And she really tied it into not only Hagar's story, but then she made it personal to everybody who was watching. You know, where has Cindy come from and where is Cindy going? And it was like, oh, okay, God.
Never thought of it that way before.
No, I know.
Yeah. I think for me, she was talking about being in an airport at one time, and there was a gentleman that if he wasn't homeless, he had a homeless appearance about him. Very, very dirty gentleman. And she felt not only the inclination to go over and speak to him, which I think I would have been arguing with God from that point, saying, I'm not hearing that right? But to ask him permission to brush the tangles out of his hair.
Wow.
And was able to serve him in that way, and just to be able to look through God's eyes at somebody and see them, not thinking of yourself as higher than anyone else, but to truly be a servant and see that human being that Christ died for. Whew,
Right.
That was heavy stuff.
And not worrying about what all those other people in the airport were thinking of her.
Or him. How embarrassing to go up, hi, can I comb your hair? How do you say that to someone?
Right.
Without sounding like, what? But that he allowed her to, and that she was able to do that, and that was quite a moment, quite impactful. I think of that. I think, okay, that's a brave woman, first of all.
That is a brave woman. A very obedient woman.
Very obedient,
Yes,
yeah. You have to ask yourself, if God required that of me, would I be able to do that? And you have to hope that, well, with the Holy Spirit, we're doing it together.
Right.
But that was quite a story, I always thought. Okay, so almost out of time. So let's go over all the nuts and bolts again. Who should attend this seminar?
Any female. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter if you're married, single, if you're in high school, college. God uses Beth to speak to everybody, no matter where you're at in life. So we just invite and encourage all women to attend the simulcast at the Dover campus.
And New Point's always good about thinking about special accommodations, wheelchair access and so forth.
We have
no worries
access.
there.
No worries, absolutely. No stairs at all.
Okay, remind us how we are able to get tickets and where we go and how much they are and so forth.
Sure. newpoint.org, NEWPOINTE.org/Beth Moore. And they're $25 a piece, and they're available until Sunday, September 11th. And the event is Saturday, September 17th, and the doors open at 8:30.
What are you looking forward to most?
In general, about the conference, the seminar?
Let's do both. About the simulcast, yes.
The simulcast, just to see who God brings through the doors. It's not about how many, it's about who. And so we're excited to see who God brings through the door. And in general, just to see the direction God is leading New Point. When I started, we joke about this all the time, but when I started working at New Point 14 years ago, I had a typewriter that every now and then I'd have to swing from my computer over to the typewriter and do something. And now, it's like, wow, it's just crazy. So where God has brought New Point to this point and where God's taking New Point, that's what excites me.
Awesome. Cindy Calusi, New Point Community Church. Beth Moore Conference coming up September 17th. Be there, be square. Thank you so much for joining us in our community.
Thank you so much for having us. I appreciate it.